Thousands of lives are lost, homes were destroyed, and numerous people have fled from their homeland. But the terrifying war between Russia and Ukraine is not ceasing to spew venom. World leaders have tried every way possible, but the war couldn't be stopped. However, experts think that there is a man who can stop the war single-handedly. He is none other than the Chinese President Xi Jinping. But the real question is, will he try to stop Russia? Let's find out in today's video. Hello everyone, welcome to the Ukraine War. We are here to deliver to you all the new political movements regarding the Russia-Ukraine conflicts, the casualties, strategies, and the aftermaths of the ongoing war in detail. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon if you don't want to miss any of those. Without any further delay, let's start. On February 24th, Russia launched an invasion of Ukraine. 7 days later, the Chinese government claims it was unaware of the incursion beforehand. China's ambassador to the U.S., Qin Gang, stated, "Assertions that China knew about, acquiesced to, or implicitly backed this conflict are pure falsehood. Had China known about the impending catastrophe, we would have done everything we could to avoid it." You are probably wondering how weird this statement is, but things became weirder later when China tried to clear its position on the issue of the invasion. China has so far failed to denounce Russia's invasion of Ukraine, claiming that the West should recognize Russia's security concerns. China was one of 35 countries that abstained when the United Nations General Assembly voted to condemn Russia's incursion. Previously, on 4th February, Xi and Putin proclaimed a relationship with no bounds between their two countries. The Biden administration has been warning the world that Russia was poised to invade Ukraine at the same time. On February 17th, Secretary of State Antony Blinken reiterated his warning in the United Nations Security Council. The Chinese government appeared to be aware of this precarious situation, but after the Standing Committee of the Politburo, the party's top 7 leaders remained unusually silent in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. China has reaffirmed its time-honored bedrock principle of respect for national sovereignty. According to Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, China-Russia relations are one of the most important bilateral relationships in the world. China has defied U.S., European, and global sanctions placed on Russia following its invasion of Ukraine. Sanctions, according to Beijing, generate new challenges and jeopardize a peaceful settlement of the conflict. Wang said, "No matter how perilous the international landscape, we will maintain our strategic focus and promote the development of a comprehensive China-Russia partnership in the new era." He added, "The friendship between the two peoples is ironclad." As their relationship has taken on the trappings of an informal alliance, China and Russia have increasingly synchronized their foreign policy against the liberal Western system, and their military has conducted joint drills and flown combined air patrols. Although their relationship is ironclad, for the sake of humanity, Xi Jinping can end the war if he wants to. But which one comes first, humanity or politics? The Russian-Ukrainian confrontation is the most serious geopolitical conflict since World War II, with considerably more global ramifications than 9/11. China must appropriately analyze and appraise the trajectory of the conflict, as well as its possible influence on the international scene at this important juncture. At the same time, China must respond flexibly and make strategic decisions that are consistent with its long-term objectives in order to achieve a reasonably favorable external environment. Russia's special military operation against Ukraine has sparked fierce debate in China, with supporters and opponents fighting tooth and nail. The Chinese president must now make a crucial decision. He has the most capability of any international leader in negotiating a peace treaty between Russia and Ukraine. To do so, Xi must give Putin a clear warning that Russia's ruthless invasion violates China's own fundamental territorial sovereignty red line. That means he'll have to speak out against Putin's attempts to rewrite post-Cold War history and revive Imperial Russia. The Chinese government will need to reintroduce its February 4 cooperation agreement as a key negotiating chip in order to bring a stop to the disastrous crisis that Putin has sparked. According to geopolitical experts, China is basically Putin's trump card in ensuring his country's long-term existence. China cannot be bound by Putin and must be severed as soon as feasible, in the sense that escalating the dispute between Russia and the West serves to shift U.S. attention away from China. Being in the same situation as Putin will have ramifications for China if he loses power. However, China does not have the clout to help Russia unless Putin can clinch victory with China's support, which appears unlikely at the time. China has a 1 to 2 week window before losing its wiggle room, according to current estimates. China must take strong action. Prior to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, U.S. officials warned that China would want intelligence on a possible strike on Taiwan. While several countries have condemned China for its intention to annex Taiwan into Chinese territory, Russia then backed the Chinese government. There's a big possibility that in the coming days, China may follow Mr. Putin's actions to fulfill its intention. Although Taiwan and Ukraine are substantially different in many respects, their position as U.S.-aligned democracies seized by authoritarian countries has led to comparisons. However, Russia's experience in Ukraine demonstrates that greater firepower alone won't be enough to ensure a quick triumph with few losses. Residents in Taiwan, where regular threats of a Chinese invasion are issued, are threatened by Russia's early trials. The Ukraine-Russia conflict has provided the worst-case scenario for Chinese President Xi Jinping to prepare his future strategy for Taiwan, as well as anticipate how the international community would react if someone tries to invade peacefully. For this reason, Mr. Xi Jinping might not try to hinder Russia in their war on Ukraine, but if he wanted, he could put an end to this crisis. Many reputed geopolitical experts also think that the Chinese president still has the ability to restore normalcy in Ukraine. According to the former chief of MI6, only Xi Jinping has the power to persuade Vladimir Putin to cease his invasion on Ukraine. Sir Alex Younger claimed Putin is obsessed with restoring the country's empire. According to the former British intelligence official, Xi will be disturbed by what is going on and may be able to exert influence on Putin. Speaking on BBC Radio 4's program, he said, "Of all the people in the world that can assert influence on Vladimir Putin, who is in his bunker and who is obsessed with achieving greatness through the restoration of the Russian Empire, of all the people that can talk sense to him, it's Xi." However, deviating from its neutral posture, backed Ukraine's defense of its sovereignty and stated that it had no desire to be sanctioned and no interest in the ongoing violence. Moreover, as Russia's invasion of Ukraine proceeds, Stephen Roach, a senior and respected economist, also stated that only one person in the world has power and can exercise influence over Vladimir Putin, and that person is China's Xi Jinping. According to a CNBC interview, Roach said, "There's only one person in the world, I think, who has leverage over Vladimir Putin, and that's Chinese President Xi Jinping. I mean, China's really holding the trump card here, and I think it's up to Xi to seize this moment." Apart from Peter Roach and Alex Younger, another important individual also thinks that Xi Jinping can stop Russia. According to Australian Defence Minister Peter Dutton, China's President Xi Jinping is the only person who can persuade Russian President Vladimir Putin to end the invasion of Ukraine. Mr. Dutton said the Chinese leader, an ally of Mr. Putin, is the sole person who can halt the invasion. He said, "It's clear the only thing that can deter Putin now is a phone call from President Xi. I think President Xi is the only person in the world that could pick up the phone to President Putin now and stop this madness." For the greater good, China should work to prevent global conflicts and nuclear wars from breaking out and make invaluable contributions to world peace. The Russian-Ukrainian war may escalate out of control as Putin has demanded that Russia's strategic deterrent forces reach a state of extraordinary battle preparedness. A righteous cause receives a lot of support, whereas an unjust cause receives very little. If Russia starts a world war or even a nuclear war, the world will be thrown into chaos. To underscore China's position as a responsible great power, it must not only oppose Putin, but also take actual steps to avoid any future misadventures by the Russian leader. Withdrawal of China's assistance will almost certainly bring the war to a close, or at the very least, he will not dare to escalate the conflict. As a result, China will almost certainly get significant worldwide acclaim for keeping world peace, which might help China avoid isolation while also providing a chance to repair ties with the US and the West. What do you think? What would Mr. Xi Jinping do if the mayhem still escalates? Let me know in the comments. With that being said, that takes us to the end of the episode. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel and push notifications bell to keep up with our work. See you soon. Until then, peace.